Don't get greedy, skin contact. Don't say goodbye. Smell you later. Nah, I can't. I don't want to end the season on a bad episode, nigga. Bouncing off things and you don't know how you fall. Your power is against or you cannot go through. All you got in this game, you still know where you play it. You may it could be your favorite. Nigga, it's your friend. Are we still friends? Are we still friends? I wanna say how we still friends. Say goodbye. Welcome. Yeah. I like that, right? Yeah, you know, I like that, right? You know? Yes, you know? Well, let's get into this shit, man. You know, we are here. Where is Felicia Johnson? And we're gonna be showing those motherfucking receipts as they come in live to my cellular device. Right? You know, I'm gonna be getting these drinks live on air. You know, that this how we like to do it. You feel me? This how we like to do it. Like we pulling these up live. Let me see. There we go. We get into it live. Shout out to you know, motherfucking, you know, Ratchet TV. Good brother. I just want to make sure everything is, you know what I'm saying? Copacetic. Okay, damn, these shit's gonna be coming up big as hell. I ain't even gonna lie. But like I said, we gonna get to it, man. You know, I promised Felicia's father I'll publish a statement from him that he believes the news has been withholden. I'm gonna publish it today. I got involved in the case because you asked it. Like I'm telling y'all, we gonna really get to the bullshit today. This the last one. Like I ain't even gonna get to a part 6. Like, cause I don't want to make a ritual out this situation. But we gonna talk today, baby. We here. Like we are fucking here. Fuck this shit, nigga. I ain't about to play with me like I'll be lying, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Like my investigation ain't on point. But let's start with this Roland Martin situation.
24-year-old California native Felicia Marie Johnson went to Houston, Texas, and disappeared on April 15th, 2022. She is 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighs 150 pounds, has long black hair and brown eyes. She has a large butterfly tattoo with 2 roses on her right shoulder. Her family has been looking for her ever since. Her father, Kevin Johnson, joins us from Houston. Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry you are going through this. What can you tell us about the...
My guy getting that money. This nigga switched up the glasses. Hold on, let me see. My son switched up the glasses on him. Hold on.
Father, Kevin Johnson, joins us from Houston.
Hold up. My son switched up the glasses on him. My son getting that shmoney. Niggas start talking about they gonna sue you, niggas. Niggas whole perspective change. Oh, niggas get money. Niggas get money. Right? Niggas out there they gonna shoot at us. Make sure my motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You gotta let me make sure your star showing, nigga. What are you talking about, nigga?
Johnson, I'm sorry you are going through this. What can you tell us about the night your daughter went missing and how the search is going?
Well, the night that she went missing, she was sharing location with some family members, and they noticed that her phone hadn't moved in some time. and they was able to locate the phone the next day. And we tried to take the phone to the police, and they refused to take the phone into evidence.
So
that's new information. The police refused to take that phone into evidence, and I'm gonna show you why. You see, we got some receipts here, right? We got some receipts here about this phone. You know what? Let's do it like this. Let me see something real quick. Let's see something. Let's see if we could send all of this like this, right? Let me see something. Alright, here we go. Alright, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this play, and I'm gonna send all these receipts
for the
over.
viewers who are unfamiliar with your daughter's story, can you give us a little bit more background around the circumstances of her disappearance? I know that she was in Houston. I believe she was celebrating her birthday or something along those lines. Can you just give the viewers a little bit more information?
Oh yeah, she was celebrating her birthday week on Sunday in San Diego with the family. We had just celebrated a birthday dinner with her, and later on in the week, she had came out here to Houston further celebrate with some family members, and I guess she wanted to make some money while she was here, and that's how she ended up at that nightclub, and that's the last time she was seen. And that was Saturday morning, which would be the 16th, I believe, or the 15th.
Okay. And you said that
the 16th or the 15th. Okay.
Houston police were not necessarily willing to take into account her phone that was found. From what I read, I don't know if it was them or the FBI, but they conducted a search around the area where her phone is found. Are you satisfied with the level of involvement from the Houston Police Department or with the FBI?
Well, actually, the family member.
Well, before he even gets into that, right, I want to go through some of this right here with y'all, right? So I don't need to hear the next person's credentials, blah blah blah. So let's go through some of this stuff, right? Angela Williams. Sometimes I feel like I wake up on defense because I want to go into this phone. Hold on, where's see? It's we coming with the receipts right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ratchet TV. You know what I'm saying? I know, but they are kind of messy in certain situations. You just need to really, really tunnel and keep yourself because they hire Quanell, and morally you should have stayed away from it if your gut told you. We're gonna get into this whole conversation. We're gonna get into that. I just wanna the dad hired Quanell and the private investigator to help him. The information about the club is what was given to him by them. So X is controlling the narrative. I plead the fifth. So Quanell X is controlling the narrative, allegedly. You know what I mean? I plead the fifth. Somebody lying. All right, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that conversation too. Public information given to me by the news people. Blah, blah. The family said firsthand that Quanell and Candace did with the family case. They stole my work with Fox. They aren't helping their people. Yeah, Fox 26 News falsely claims the story. That's another case that Quanell X was on, I believe. And then this is like part of the story and stuff like that. They believe she was approached by a light-skinned male. What type of vehicle? Shown to cover girls looking for work. Information that she was getting a ride back to Intercontinental Hotel. Dave was the manager at thing, man. See, I'm trying to find this thing about okay, here we go. Felicia's iPhone was located with blood on North Eldridge Parkway, just south of Clay Road and north of War Memorial Street on the northeast section, just 6 feet off of the pavement. GPS coordinates 2940, like 40, whatever. The general area is part of Addicts Reservoir. Right? Her iPhone was recovered 11 hours later, same Saturday at approximately 1:30 p.m. Right? Now, the manager's name is Dave. He stated she arrived at 12:30 a.m. looking for a job and that she didn't get one. He was also saying as the hours of operation for the club is 3 a.m. to whatever. Felicia was visiting here 3 days prior to her disappearance. Felicia is a dancer originally from San Diego, California, who was working random strip clubs or whatever the case may be, right? Felicia was looking for work, whatever. Cool, right? Now remember, that's a 12:30. But this next screenshot says her iPhone was recovered later that same Saturday at approximately 1:30, right? 11 hours. But 11 hours from 12:30 is 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. That's 11 hours later, right? That means they found this phone 13 hours later, which means that story don't really make sense. So now, when they try to give this to the police and just say, okay, this is the phone we found, X, Y, Z, and the third, police like y'all kind of putting the carriage before the horse. Let us do our investigation. I mean, hey, listen, I know sometimes the police take time with they missing person cases, right? But 70% of the time, it's actually the family who have probably taken the life of their loved one. Now, I'm not accusing the father of anything. I'm just stating the facts and theories and things that are acquired on the internet and what the people are saying. That's all. Can't sue us all.
Bars is the one that found the phone
Mm-hmm.
through sharing location, and we took the phone to the police station, and they refused the phone.
Right.
And a week later, after I had acquired some help from Quanell X, that's when they took the evidence.
Oh,
Five
okay.
days
So they
after
took the
us
phone.
attempting to give it to them on the day of her disappearance. And as far as
So, see, and this is where I'm confused, right? Her iPhone was found. See, but it don't say if it was recovered by the private investigator. Okay, her iPhone was recovered 11 hours later. Okay, by her cousin's girlfriend. Let me see. It was 11 hours later by the cousin's girlfriend. By using my Find My iPhone app, the iPhone carrier said to be AT&T. So why don't they have all the ping history already? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, why don't they have all that already?
as the search
You see, we have all these media outlets speaking on the case, but we don't really have the Houston PD coming out and giving their statement. They have not done an official press conference for this case yet. You know, we've seen the lawyer, we've seen everybody else. We have not seen the Houston PD do an official press conference for Felicia Johnson's case yet. When that press conference comes, that's when I'm going to have the actual facts of this case. Up until now, this is all speculation. Everything. What I say, what the father say, what everybody say, it's all speculation.
efforts, there are a lot of people that's volunteering their time, and Texas EquiSearch is helping, and Crime Stoppers is helping. But as far as the law enforcement, I have just all questions and no answers. And
Yes.
we're 3 weeks in.
I
They won't
noticed.
even confirm or deny her identity at this point. I have been able to confirm or deny her identity on surveillance footage. Right. I gave my DNA to them to confirm the blood that was on the phone, if it was hers. I still don't even know if the results from that.
Right.
So,
I noticed that the Houston Police Department and even the FBI, the statements that they've been given is that it's an ongoing investigation. And they've been very tight-lipped with releasing details. Do you think if they were more forthcoming with details that would help bring your daughter home faster?
Just for the family to have some kind of information at this point, which we're almost a month into the investigation and we have nothing. I mean, something would be able to help us to help them. We've been doing our own investigations via social media and through our own, contacts through the streets or whatever. But of course, I feel like if they would give us something, then that we'd be able to help.
Well, you make a good point too, because I mean, even if they weren't to publicly release data or information, there's no reason why I can think of that they wouldn't be more forthcoming with the actual family. The statements that they've been given is that it's an ongoing investigation, and they've been very tight-lipped with releasing details. Do you think if they were more forthcoming with details, that that would help bring your daughter home faster?
You know, just for the family to have some kind of information at this point, which we're almost a month into the investigation and we have nothing. I mean, something would be able to help us to help them. We've been doing our own investigations via social media and through our own, you know, contacts through the streets or whatever. But of course, I feel
We've been doing investigations, us, the people.
like if they would give us something, then that we'd be able to help.
Well, you make a good point too, because I mean, even if they weren't to publicly release data or information, there's no reason why I can think of that they wouldn't be more forthcoming with the actual family, and at least helping you guys be assured
Unless you think that the family is suspects in the case.
that they are taking every step that they can to bring your daughter back home. Tell the viewers a little bit more about your daughter. I want people to get a better sense of her personality. I know that she's so special to your family, and we don't often get a chance to hear about, people like your daughter when these circumstances arise.
Yeah, she was just like, you know, like my mom, rest in peace. Like, just she would light up a room. Very outspoken, intelligent, beautiful. Like she was an inspiring model. Very good with hair and makeup. Kids. She didn't have any kids, but she was good with her brothers and all her siblings. She was like kind of like another mom to them because she was the oldest. So, just a beautiful person.
She sounds like she is a beautiful person. For the viewers watching, what do you want for them to do? What can they do to help get involved?
She made sure she ain't say her name in the past tense. Cause that shit right there be fucking people cases up. I ain't
The
gonna
search
lie.
and support your efforts. I saw that there was a GoFundMe. What do you think that people can do to help push the story to the forefront?
You know, just I don't know what they can do. Like, if anybody's in the Houston area or in the Texas area and they would like to, you know, volunteer their time to actually actively search for her, but there are multiple agencies that are on the job right now, as far as the FBI, the Houston PD. I also have the Sheila Jackson Lee, the Congresswoman.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know I didn't want to say her name, but I'm just excited to have some people to help me in the search for my daughter. You know, I don't feel like the police have been doing their job. I don't feel like, as a father, that they've been. I feel like they've been violating my rights. You know, because anything that I've asked, nobody said anything to me, and they've just all been very hush hush about it. And it's obvious that there's something going on here.
Does your family have any kind of legal representation to help you sort through this process?
No, we don't yet, but we are looking into that. And if anybody can reach out to me with any suggestions,
So you collecting donations, you collecting GoFundMe money, but you don't even have a lawyer yet. Private investigators coming from Cornell, and that's where you're getting like this, supposedly bogus information from.
I'm open to it.
Yes, that's the kind of stuff that hopefully we have people watching who can help volunteer their services or steer you in the right direction. What's the best way of getting in contact with you or with, whoever you feel like is the right person to contact to aid in your daughter's search?
You can email me at kevin20069@gmail.com. I think that's the best way to contact me via email, and I will try to respond to people as quickly as possible.
Okay. I'm going to bring in the panel to see if they have any questions. Are you willing to take questions from the panel? Okay, great. All right. We're coming into the ask you questions. We're going to start off with Dr. Julianne Malveaux. She's the Dean of College and Ethnic Studies. And we also have California State University, Dr. Omakongo and Debinga, I'm so sorry if I messed that up, Professor, Lecturer, School of International Service, American University, Reverend Jeff Carr, founder of Infinity Fellowship. Starting with you, Dr. Malveaux, do you have a question for Mr. Johnson?
I guess, Mr. Johnson, you've shared a lot about your daughter and her personality. She sounds like an absolutely lovely person, and we're really sorry that you're not able to track her down. Other than the police who haven't been very responsive, or the FBI, have there been other law enforcement agencies, sheriffs, others, or have you considered the possibility of a private investigator?
We have hired numerous private investigators, but nobody is able to come up with any answers. As far as any constables or sheriff.
They hired numerous private investigators, but none of them was able to come up with any answers. Private investigators, could you please just drop a comment after this? Like if this video comes by your desk, drop a comment and let me know have there ever been a case that you even declined to take that had absolutely no clues. I just want to know.
Nobody else is involved.
I could ask questions, right?
Upset about bots and competitors clicking on your ad?
What?
Like, I got questions, man. I just got motherfucking questions, that's all.
Mr. Johnson, I have a question because I know that your daughter, you believe she was last seen at this nightclub where she was, trying to get a job. And I've seen some conflicting reports.
I like how she worded that. You believe she was seen.
From the employees, from what I read, it seems like they have a recollection of her being there and leaving with a customer, yet the club itself contends that they don't have any record of her being there in terms of surveillance. What do you make of the disconnect or the discrepancies?
Well, the Davari brothers have numerous criminal
Yo, this
charges
nigga here. That's who gonna sue his ass. Them goddamn Davari brothers. Them niggas gonna sue his ass, boy. I ain't even gonna lie. Yo, son. Oh man, yo, this nigga and this Davari bro. I ain't gonna lie to him, man. This nigga's funny, man. This nigga's really funny.
Sex trafficking and employing minors. So
like,
it doesn't surprise me.
I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta commend his genius for bringing it to the even guilty or not guilty. This nigga's his laser focus on these brothers, my nigga. Like these niggas had beef since high school or some shit.
They were able to operate in the dark without any surveillance cameras because they claim that their cameras don't work. And I don't see how any establishment can operate in the dark in this day and age that we live in, unless there's some.
That's one thing I do want to kind of speak on though. Why the fuck none of these stores or businesses or buildings, when people go missing, camera footage always go missing too. You see all these cameras and them shits never work. But that just goes to show you how much of these American businesses do corrupt activities, and how much we really need to start putting a lot of these businesses under the scope, because it's a lot of illegal activity going on, and good business guys like me who got to do things straight by the books, because unfortunately, I'm a dark-skinned man, and we are automatically assumed to be criminals or in some type of illicit activity, or have some type of scam that we trying to run, or whatever the case may be. So I gotta, walk a straight line and do legit business. Let's put these companies under the microscope and see if they do legit business, because why are they cameras never working? And this is not just that strip club and cover girls or whatever. This is almost 80-90% of businesses. You go through any missing persons case, cold case, whatever, in the last 10 years, I guarantee you, half of those cases, the camera's not going to be working.
Something else going on there. As far as the employees, we've got conflicting stories, misleading information, just all kind of stuff. This has been a crazy, crazy situation.
Yeah, it sounds just like the most infuriating
And he's always vague about it. That'd be the shit. It's like he always like know how to like spin it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
circumstances
He really talk like a pimp. I
when
ain't
you're
gonna
getting
lie.
different stories, and it's hard to tell what the motivations are behind getting conflicting stories. Have you heard from any customers who were there that night
Pop stay fly, don't he?
who might recall anything?
No, I haven't heard. Nobody will talk to me.
Okay.
Nobody, like I said, it's a hush hush on many levels. The hotel, the police, no.
Well, whatever he's saying that must be a close friend or whatever. That nigga been there for like a week, 2 weeks now.
Nobody's talking.
Okay.
Nobody's talking. And it's been 3 weeks. The police haven't gotten any answers from people.
But the lawyer will come on camera and talk to K. Houston. Come on, people are talking. They just not telling you what you want to hear. They're not telling you what you want to hear. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, I don't know who can.
Right.
At this point,
I'm going to go to Dr. Debinga. Do you have a question for Mr. Johnson?
Well, first of all, Mr. Johnson, I really want, as a father myself, I really want to commend you for your poise during this time. And as we work to spread information about it from here, where I'm at in DC, and where we're all over the country, what are you and your family doing 3 weeks into this to hold your spirits up? I mean, I really cannot comprehend what you.
Where is the rest of her family? Like, why is it only her father? Like, no cousins, no nothing. It's like the father's the only one controlling this narrative, controlling the story. Like, where's the mother? Like, where are these people? And I do have a photo of the mother. But, you know, where are these people? I'm not going to put information out there if y'all don't, you know what I mean? If she don't want to put herself out there, so.
You're going through right now, but at the same time, I'm seeing such poise from you. What are you and your family doing to maintain your spirits at this moment?
just keeping our faith in, the Most High. And, I know that this is the fight of my life. I'm getting strength from within, from my ancestors, from, people that's protecting me and holding me, and holding me up at this
I'm
time.
getting the strength from my ancestors. Yo, this nigga's funny.
And I'm just the love I have for my daughter, that I will not quit until I find answers. And I can't. I'm in a place where I've never been. I'm in unforeign territory with my own self. And I'm just a man of faith.
You're in foreign territory, but you've been in the same spot for this, 2 weeks now. I mean, you probably are, but you obviously got some type of connection to Houston, bro.
Walking one day at a time.
You're not in a hotel.
Right. And my family is doing the same.
Amen to that, Mr. Johnson. Speaking of a man of faith, I'll go to Reverend Carr. Do you have a question for Mr. Johnson?
I can't hear him.
I think we're working on his audio right now.
Okay.
He got all these
Reverend Carr,
degrees
you're
and
muted.
don't
Can you
know how to
unmute?
work the audio, man. I'm telling you, you be some smart, dumb motherfuckers out here, man.
I think you. Okay, we're still working on it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. You held a vigil yesterday for
Cut
your
that part
daughter.
out.
And I know that you appealed to Mayor Turner to get him involved.
This shit ghetto as hell.
Have you considered at all appealing to the various mayoral candidates? I know that there is a big race for Houston mayor coming up, and it's a competitive race. This is certainly one of those things where they would, they should also be weighing in and trying to put their resources behind it. So have you considered that at all, or what kind of response have you gotten if you have reached out to anybody?
I'm just considering it right now since you're telling me.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm going to have to put into motion. I have a busy week, so I got to meet with the authorities and have some
Turner to get him involved. Have you considered at all appealing to the various mayoral candidates? I know that there is a big race for Houston mayor coming up, and it's a competitive race. This is
Okay.
certainly one of those things where they would, they should also be weighing in and trying to put their resources behind it. So have you considered that at all, or what kind of response have you gotten if you have reached out to anybody?
I'm just considering it right now since you're telling me.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm gonna have to put into motion. I have a busy week, so I gotta meet with the authorities and have some meetings with them to see what direction this case is gonna go into. What? Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you don't have to apologize at all. I think, do we have Reverend Carr back? Okay, we're still working on that. Yeah, I mean, I hate to get political, but at the same time, I know that you mentioned, activist Quanell X and the impact that made in terms of the Houston PD getting more involved.
She's professional.
And
I like
so,
her. She, I mean,
with it being an election year,
she's
there's
good,
no
man.
harm
She's
in
good.
reaching
I like
out to
her.
people
She's good.
who really have a microphone and who could potentially be elected to these positions of power and authority. Can you talk a little bit about the way that activist groups have, helped you out in this, and just give us a little bit of insight into that?
They're really influential in just getting the ball rolling. Before, when I had I just had like a basic private investigator, he got nowhere. I hired Quanell X. Next thing you know, the police got involved. They took the phone. Where I'm at today because of him, because he helped me. I'm no lie. I understand that a lot of people give him a bad rap, but as a desperate man, I'm telling you, he helped me.
Well, a rap doesn't make a difference when you're looking for your daughter. It doesn't matter. Help is, you're going to take the help that you can get, and you want results. It's not about reputations and all that kind of stuff. So, that's really amazing that he got involved. We have Reverend Carr back. Reverend Carr, your question or comment for Mr. Johnson?
Yes, first and foremost, you guys can hear me now, I think.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Great. Brother Johnson, man, first and foremost, thank you for your patience, and thank you for your willingness to step outside of traditional circles. We know there's a lot of pressure right now to make this happen, and sometimes that pressure will come from law enforcement, but other times spirit and ancestors will send you people, places, and things to help you in this quest to find your daughter. And I've got a daughter around the same age. She's the oldest, man. She's into the same kind of things. But I want you to understand that right now,
Pastor. Hold on now. Pastor got a little freaking daughter now. It's on Instagram.
People who are sending their energy your way, and they're sending the energy towards you to complete this mission to find your daughter and to bring her home. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your heart. Stay strong, stay lifted, and know that we're all with you. Kevin2069, is that the email? At Gmail. All right, I'm going to put this on and I'm going to ask a question so people can see that they can screenshot that. Call this man.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at, I ain't going to lie, man. Some people, man, some people got to really commend, the spirit of who they are and just the level of creativity that Black people come up with when it comes time to actually help people. This man took his email, wrote it on the post-it, and put it on his shirt so that the people on the screen could know how to contact this man. I commend that brother, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I took my hat to that, man. For real, man. For real, tip my hat to that right there, man. That's gangster. Now that's gangster.
Your information, is there a way that people can contribute to any kind of fund that can help you from around the world? If you need to investigate, as Sister Malvo said, find a private investigator. If you need resources to help your family, find other community partners. Aside from email, is there a site set up?
On the
or if not,
tides.
how can we get to you?
I have a GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe set up that's on my Facebook page.
He couldn't wait.
My Facebook is Kevin Kevalino, KEVALENO Johnson, JOHNSON. Yeah, that's it. Kevin Kevalino Johnson. That's my Facebook.
All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Stay strong.
I will. I'm trying. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, we appreciate you for taking time out. I know that you have so much on your plate trying to find your daughter. As we all have said, our hearts are with you, our support is with you. Please feel free to reach out and let us know if there's anything else that we can do. And hopefully we can get people to your GoFundMe. And if anybody has tips, they'll get your information from your Facebook. But consider setting up a free website just to, make it a little bit easier to get in contact with you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. You take care, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much.
So yeah, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go I think I'm gonna go to the panel real quick because I just do want to bring up a couple of things. I was looking, I didn't want to, get too much into detail with Mr. Johnson because obviously this is a very fraught topic for him. But he mentioned the nightclub and the kind of sketchiness around that. I wonder, and I'll start off with you, Dr. Malveaux. What do you make of just the fact that they're kind of getting away with this whole, we don't have surveillance and there's conflicting stories coming from employees and from the owners? They don't even want to admit that she was even at the club. What do you make of that?
Well, there's something obviously rotten in this story, and these are the kind of places that need to be very well regulated.
Right.
Not regulated. If your security camera is broken, shut your club until you get your security camera fixed.
Right.
Too many young girls, and especially young Black girls and young women, will go missing behind these, as you put it, sketchy kind of situations. So
this is what Black
the police,
is about right here.
the mayor, anyone should be basically doing a deep dive into the background of this club, its owners, because there's obviously something that's not right. The other thing I would say, I was a president of a women's college some years ago, Bennett College for Women, and the girls would get really annoyed with me when I give them these safety tips and tell them, don't go out by yourself, always have a partner, and they kind of roll their eyes and say, Malveaux, she's an old fogey. They said other things than that. They weren't very nice either. But in any case, young women, you have to be careful. You ought to go out with a partner. You ought to make sure you're going out with another sister. Y'all keep up with each other because there are a whole lot of people out there who are exploiting Black girls. Just say it, Black girls and Black young women. And the police, if it was a blonde missing, believe me, it would be on network news. But a Black girl missing, it's not that big of a deal. So, the law can do better and we can do better. And we can't be afraid. I'm not afraid to be called an old fogey. If that's what it takes. Again, I'll say it to young sisters you're watching, don't go to the club by yourself. Take somebody with you. Even somebody you don't like. Just go with a partner. It's the only way you can stay safe.
Nah, she
Want to join the six-figure club? Google and other tech companies are hiring
and they would put an ad right after that. Even YouTube, like, yeah, she talking that shit. Let's get them right here. When they spirit raise high, we gonna hit them right with that ad. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair though, she did have her location on her phone, so that maybe that gave her more of a sense of security because we have all this technology now where you can drop a pin and people know exactly where you are, but that doesn't necessarily, insulate you if you get into a car with somebody who has bad intentions. But to Dr. Malveaux's point, Dr. Debinga, there have been multiple Black women missing in Houston. And, it has been pointed out that they have not, the Houston Police Department has not galvanized to find these women in the same way they probably would have if they were white women. What is your opinion?
You see, grassroots, we really kicking up dust. They see what we kicking up, and now they taking a conversation and bringing it to a higher notch. You feel me? So, I mean, all the journalists and all that, man. We all doing what we got to do, man. For real.
Well, first of all, I have to thank you and Roland Martin for covering this story, as you all do every night on the show. And
shout out to Roland Martin for this one.
Some way, shape, or form, covering our own people who are missing. The challenge that I have is that when we have this conversation, we're talking about Houston, but it's literally fill in the blank with any city. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the situation in Connecticut, where within about a week span, 2 Black women went missing, and nothing was said until the family had to raise awareness about that as well. And so the message to Black America with this situation is, we are on our own until we are not on our own. We have to galvanize in every way, shape, or form everybody in our social media spaces, in news networks that we know, community activists. We need to start getting the Rolodex together, because when these types of things happen, we have to spring into action. They will wait 24, 48, 72 hours, do anything possible to not do the work in many of our cases. And this is just the latest example of that. And this brother has been waiting 3 weeks, and is not only getting, you don't think if the police went down to the nightclub and asked them questions, they would get answers? So, and sometimes you see situations where you have people who are law enforcement who are working at these clubs. So it just, hello, George Floyd. Remember that whole situation where there was a thing where Chauvin may have worked at the same club with Floyd. So there's a lot of interweavings going on that the family is just not being made aware of. I'm smelling a serious cover up. But again, the lesson is for us, we have to get all hands on deck.
See, but who's covering up? And that's the real question. There's a cover up somewhere here, but who's covering it up? Is it the strip club? Is it the family? Is it the police? Is it the district attorney? We don't know. That's why we got to ask these questions
beforehand, so we could be ready to pounce, because they just don't care about us like we care about us. And so I'm glad that Mr. Johnson was here, because he just reached out to thousands of other people across the country and the globe who are going to get on the case to make sure that this sister gets found.
You make such an excellent point, Dr. Davinga, about activating. And really, you know, what was so frustrating to me, or just disappointing to me, Reverend Carr, is how he's trying to fumble his way through it. And it's such a common story, unfortunately.
And I think, you know, and that's why I want to cut him some bail and stuff like that too, because, you know, I know he's just a black man really trying to just, like she said, fumble his way through it. And, you know, he not stopping by any means. And you gotta commend, you know, his effort and stuff like that. You know, we ask for facts, you know, but listen, I'll be the first person to apologize, man. You know, if it come out that, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm the first person, boom, bang. You feel me? Shit, I donate a motherfucking $500 to the GoFundMe. You feel me? Like, real shit, man. Like, I ain't on no suck ass, you know what I mean, trying to motherfucking put down my people shit. Nah, you feel me? But 70% of missing female cases has something to do with the family. That's why in part 2, I'm so focused in on the family. But then part 3, I went into district attorney. Part 4, went to the lawyer. Part 5, now, you know what I mean? We here. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, we just trying to solve the mystery. Where is Felicia Johnson?
Cover on Roll Wine Unfiltered, and then 3 weeks later when CNN is covering it, they're tagging us like, have you heard the story? Like, yeah, we've been covering it. But, you know, we need to find a way to activate, not just, you know, to prevent these things from happening, but to really wrap our arms around families like the Johnson family, so that they're not trying to figure out basic things like how people can reach them or how to get representation and private investigators. You know, we hate that Black Americans are constantly put in this situation, but we're always trying to figure it out each time like it's the first time.
Indeed, indeed. And I think you said a lot right there. And I think what Dr. Malveaux was saying, in alignment with what Dr. Omekongo was saying, really puts us on Front Street to ask the question, what are we going to do when we are faced with a situation where people who are paid by our tax dollars are not stepping up to do what they are supposed to do, which is, I know it's a slogan that came about in the 50s, but to protect and to serve is a very real thing. It's a very real thing because police, investigators, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the state investigation facilities, the sheriff's office, all of them are paid by our tax dollars. So on one hand, it's really sad that we have to continue to agitate for people to simply do their job. And yet in this moment, we find some opportunities. We find some opportunities to put pressure on. Those of you who know the famous quote by Frederick Douglass, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. We have to make sure that we put pressure on law enforcement while at the same time looking for opportunities to come together as a community, to raise funds if we need to to go out and volunteer if we need to, and to honestly begin to have conversations with people. If this establishment has been there, people know when they call it sketchy. There are people who are friends of mine, and I've been sketchy myself back in the day. There are some people who know what's really going on. There are people who know what happened. If this establishment is tied to illegal activities, then it's no surprise that they do not have surveillance cameras, because the surveillance cameras could potentially be used against them. But we have to make sure that we reinforce what the Johnsons are doing down there to find young sister Felicia, while at the same time, we have to begin to have more conversations about how we make sure we protect our women and our daughters, and how we inform them. I'm a father of 3 daughters and 2 sons, and I'm telling you from personal experience, my dad, my institutions did not give us a way to track down our daughters if they're missing. The empowerment that we needed to teach our daughters how to protect themselves in certain situations. This is an opportunity for us to begin to reinforce the safety issues, many of which were brought up by Sister Malvo. Don't go anywhere by yourself. The tracker on the phone is a good piece of technology, but if something happens, there's a delay time from when you notice that the phone is no longer moving and you can respond there. So I'm encouraging the people in Houston, for those of you who know about the establishment, for those of you who have worked at the establishment or are currently working, go to some law enforcement person and confidentially share whatever you know. This is not a moment to hold back information. We have a sister's life at stake. So if you're listening to this, or if you're in the Houston area and you know about this establishment, then it's time for the community to put pressure up and on to let people know what is going on, to come forward so that we could potentially save this sister's life and make sure that we're not putting any other sisters at risk for anything from bodily harm to human trafficking, real things that are happening in a real world today.
You're absolutely right, Reverend Carr. And the pressure, just to reiterate, is not just against the police, it's against our peers. Like Reverend Carr said, if you know something, say something. And I know we're supposed to say go to law enforcement, but you've been given the information of Mr. Johnson. You could also go to local activists if you feel more comfortable. I know a lot of times Black folks don't feel comfortable going to the police. Can't say I blame you. But the information needs to get in the right hands somehow. In whichever way you feel comfortable, it's better to share it with somebody than to keep it to yourself while this young lady's life is at stake. So we have a lot more to talk about. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. We'll be right back.
And that is that. So yeah, man. You know, shit getting crazy, y'all. Shit is getting crazy. Shit is getting motherfucking crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, let me know how y'all feel about this. You know what I'm saying? And I know I said this was gonna be like the last part, but it'd probably be a part 6. If some real relevant information come out, there'll be a part 6. You know what I'm saying? You know, they found us, something like that. But I ain't gonna keep hitting y'all with small updates and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas trying to sue me for all this, nigga. I love this, nigga. Wow. Deuces. Be one to the motherfucking family, man. We ain't gonna say no gang shit right now, cause you know what I'm saying? we talking, we already, you know what I mean?